At the time of recording this, it's the 15th of July. 10 days ago, I connected with Normand and he showed me the record history. So, this is a way of being able to show users updates and changes to any particular record history in your application. Now, the video that you're about to watch is quite long, and I appreciate that you may not want to invest your time listening to two old men rambling on for 40 minutes or so. So, if that's the case, I put a link in the top here for just how you do this. It's a much shorter video, 10 minutes or so, just to show you how to set up the record history. But if you do get value from this series of videos with the record history, please do subscribe, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and Norm's channel. Obviously, Normand is the person that's created KTL and created this record history keyword. So your support would be really greatly appreciated. If you carry on, please do enjoy this. If not, jump into the other videos to see how it's done, and we'll catch up with you soon. Do you want to walk me through how to build
Just
this?
gonna wipe my face this time. So yeah, what I want to do is I sent you a CSV file. Yeah, so you see the status column D.
Yeah.
We have the 4 statuses, and they will be added automatically when you do the import. And the first one change from number to auto increment. There, auto increment.
Yeah. So that's going to be a text formula.
Yeah,
Which is going to be, and then we need to create a concatenation, which would be, what did you call it? Log?
I use HIST
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ist
underscore
underscore, and then the
and
auto
then.
increment.
Mhm.
Cool.
Okay, and this becomes, by the way, this becomes the display field.
Oh, okay. So let me just do that there then. So settings, set my display field to log ID, and then high to low on the auto increment. Do we need a
Perfect.
time stamp as well?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be correct. So that's just look at that again. So day, month, current date, current time, 24 hour. Yeah. Status, we've got, so we need to delete the first choice, second choice, and third choice.
And
So
then reorder them properly. So it would be like added, updated as second,
updated is second.
and then archive, expired, and deleted.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then
No.
custom sort, that's good. For the layout, it's either redo buttons or drop down, but you don't care much because it's going to be.
Yeah, you're not
I
going to
prefer.
interact with it.
I like redo buttons because they're one click less. You don't
Yes,
have to do open for a drop down.
correct. So that's now set. You obviously being required is irrelevant because that's
It doesn't
happening
matter.
in the
It's all
background.
automated. Yeah.
Identifier, what was that going to be now?
Okay,
That's
this is a field I completely forgot. It's the which is also almost the most important, is the one that says what are you editing right now? Like, is it the store? If it's a store, then what's the name of that store?
right.
Because you know the record ID, but when you look at the record ID, it doesn't tell you anything. So,
Okay.
so let's say you change the phone number of a person, well, you'll see John Smith.
Okay. Got that. Changes.
Um,
This is what's changed, isn't it? Short text. Should that be long text?
Paragraph.
Yeah.
It should be a paragraph text.
Yeah. Context. I know you said that's a new thing. That's kind of.
Yeah, this is extremely important. This will help you filter properly. You can set that in each form. Okay, so you say like this form, I want to set the context. So it's going to be uh, specifications for this, for example. You enter a string. That's anything you want. Nobody will see that, but it will be useful for filtering in the future.
Okay.
So
Perhaps,
if you plan this properly, you can use it to make very powerful filtering.
okay. Perhaps we'll circle back to that. It may make a bit more sense.
I
I can
tried to
see
find
some.
a use case, a good example of how this could be useful. But essentially, it's a wildcard. You put whatever you want. It can be seen like tags. It's sort of like when you search
Oh,
for
okay.
something and you go with tags. It can be seen
Yeah.
like that.
So it can be highly customized to whatever you want it to be. So if you think in the future, I would like to look for this history by a particular tag, then that's what you'd put in the context.
Exactly, and it's possible to, you say you didn't think about something and you say, "Oh, I should have done this." You can easily modify the records and change them to update them to better suit your needs at that moment.
Okay.
This is a connection to an account.
Okay.
That's good.
Up by object name, short text, okay.
Yeah.
Record ID should be a number.
No,
You're leaving that as short text, okay.
yeah, it's not a number.
VUID is short text. Expiry we've got as a date, and we've done these three
Uh,
already.
check expiry again.
Day, month, current
No,
date.
so no, it's none. None, both of them.
Otherwise, it's going to create a date and timestamp when you add the record. Yes. So
Okay.
that looks good. None. Cool.
The other is cool. It's good. Yeah. Okay, so now we have to do the views.
Okay, this is quite a good table to play with. This is the clients table.
Okay, the first page we need to create first is the invisible form that will create the records. So it's going to be a new page that has a login.
Oh, it's just a completely new page. So
Yeah, a
a log
login.
to everybody.
Yes.
So
And then it's going to be called a specific name. Let me check. The name is add a record history with capital letter, camel case. I'll copy this because
yeah,
you're going to lead it a few times.
yeah.
Okay, so add page. And then add a form. Yeah, it's going to add a new record. It's going to add a new history, record history.
Record histories. Yeah, it pluralizes, doesn't add any record.
Mm-hmm. And then you go back, change, yeah, connected to the logged in user, logged in account.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. So this is the good
And we're
name.
leaving the form as it is. It's not linked to a
For
menu.
now, no, yeah, exactly. Leave that as is.
Okay. Add form.
Okay, so now add all fields.
Okay, so that's our form.
So the title is good.
Add record history is
Okay,
the
that's good.
title of the page. And
Perfect.
it doesn't make any difference what the label is here, does it? Or do
No,
you
but I always
keep them the
added
same?
this. Yeah.
So if you're going into view names, then you need to make sure the view name is the same as the page name, which is this obviously here, add record history, which
It's not necessary in this case, but a good practice, I'd say.
yeah, so that's what it needs to be. Cool. Okay. We don't need any record rules.
No. Okay, so that's it. And this should not be visible. So
Okay,
I
so we need
always
to
do you want to try to create the invisible menu while we're here? It's going to be useful for something else in the future. So add this one. It's because I thought you could create a blank one and add afterwards, but you have to choose one.
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't have to go back. Just go back, like all pages at the top. Remove everything and continue.
What do
Invisible
you
menu.
call it? Invisible menu.
Okay.
Okay.
I knew you. Okay, now you can add if you want. I knew I could do this. So now I can say
You want to add this one
record
now?
history. Yeah, this one. We could have done it in one step, but I just want to
I
prove
know.
myself.
Oh.
because usually what happens is that in the instructions I say to do this in this order, create the menu first, and people have nothing to add in it at that point. So I was wondering if my documentation was okay or not, but it's okay.
So we now have an invisible menu with the added record history
Perfect.
inside it, but this obviously is actually visible. So I'm presuming now this you need to go into set the settings of this and not include it in the page menu.
Yes, and from what I remember, it will also include make everything under invisible.
Let me just navigate away from that page. Otherwise, if I'm on this page and
I
I
think so.
refresh,
Yeah.
I'll be on a hidden page, which will be funny. So yeah,
Okay, so it works.
I can't see it now. That's invisible.
Haha.
Right.
I wonder if it's in the DOM. Can you try
Oh,
that?
yeah. So I'm
Like
just going to, for those that aren't familiar, more tools, developer tools. Oops. Um, Norman's requesting control of your computer. How
actually,
rude. Let me just,
let me show you some.
go on then. You
that
can drive. I'm going to have a drink.
you see, just right click on summary, and if it's there, it's going to be right next to it. So we can see that the list expand, expand recursively. Then you see clients, everything is there, but the summary is the last one. So it's not there,
So
but
it's even
just
hidden in the document object model.
yeah,
You can't see it.
it's It's not even in the DOM. Okay, so that's good. It's not in the DOM, so you cannot make it visible.
Yeah,
That's the important part. You cannot
cool.
hack this and say, I'll make it visible and it's going to appear because
Yeah,
it's on the server
just
side.
just for those people that might be watching this, that was why we went down that rabbit hole, just to see whether even if you had the skills to get into the DOM, which I think is also F12, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, F12. That's what's bringing up my magnifying thing. That's an F12. That's the shortcut.
Oh,
Ah, so there we go. So even if you went into more tools and you went into developer tools, you wouldn't be able to, even if you knew what you were doing, unlike me, you wouldn't be able to expose that invisible menu. Right. Moving on.
okay. Back to the builder. Create a new login page.
A new login page.
Yep.
Okay. Another login page. Oh,
Did we? Okay, sorry. No. Sorry, we did that already.
we've done that. Yes.
Actually, do
That's
you want
here.
to see the record history, a global view for record history? That could be interesting. Like for the administrators, you can see everything, not just for one record, but you can see everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we build it up in stages. How do we do? Should we just do the add in the record history for the record itself, first of all? And are you talking about leveraging the history that's in the Knack side of history?
No, I'm just talking about the an administrator view for at the application level. So you're in the app and you're an administrator. You log in and you can see all the record history for everything in the system
I,
in the front end, not the back end. Okay,
I
the
think I
back end
prefer.
is
I prefer to just set it up on the table first of all with the little.
okay. No
Yeah.
problem. Go for that.
Okay.
So go in your edit client
Edit
at the
client.
top. Yeah, right there.
Okay. Yeah. Edit. So we're on the edit form. So where we are now,
So
then, if I go back to my clients page, so we are. This is the form we are looking at now.
okay, now this is
So
a
that's
modal. I hope it's not gonna be a problem. No, it should not. Should not make any
okay.
difference.
Because yeah, I like my modal pop-ups.
Of course. So go in settings and add the in the title. I'm gonna give you the
The magic keyword.
yeah, the keyword in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Okay. Um, oh yeah, got my chat. Which chat? Zoom chat or Slack chat?
Zoom chat.
You can tell this hasn't been rehearsed.
Makes it more exciting.
Yeah, you're right. Do you know what you're doing?
I don't know why, but I can't see my chat window. Zoom
Oh yeah,
control.
sometimes it hides at the
Oh,
top of the screen.
of course you're gonna probably have to modify this.
Yeah, it looks like quite a complex string. So
Okay, so add a record history and then specify what the context is. So you can
this is the
check.
tags. So we're saying on this case it would be so if I change the tag to edit client, I think was it client or do I call them
Yeah,
clients? Yeah, okay. So I'm going to call my tag so the context. So ARH means add record history. The context, which is the context field, is going to put a tag in there called edit client. And then what?
yeah. At that point you have a choice between include and exclude. It means if you want to exclude fields or if you want to force inclusion manually. So if as soon as you add something there, it's going to apply the rule. So if you don't have anything, it will be everything. So if you remove that whole square bracket
Oh,
there,
can I just say then?
yeah,
So if I was doing this, it would add a record if the client changed or the address changed or the
yeah.
email changed.
If you remove that group,
So if I removed all of that, including the
yeah,
brackets,
it will record everything
but
in that form.
so if I wanted to capture everything except I wasn't interested if the email changed, then I could exclude comma and then just use the name email in here.
Yeah,
And I see this is your example. So you were excluding the services field and the field that happened to be called multi-choice.
exactly. And it's a
Um,
universal selector. It means that you can use the field label or the field ID, any or a combination of both. It doesn't matter.
so you could use email or actually what the field ID is. So field
Mhm.
123.
Underscore 123.
Yeah, sorry, field underscore 123. Yeah, okay. So I need to get rid of that and get rid of my comma. And then the expiry is in
Okay,
5 months
5 months. Actually, is it?
or
No,
five
it's
minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah, because three types of units you have. Okay, you have days, hours, or minutes.
Days,
Minutes are not
hours,
going to
or
be very
minutes.
useful, except for me for testing.
So your parameters are either M, H, or days. So if you wanted it for 3 months, you'd have to go 90 days.
Yep.
Okay. And what that's doing then is
And
creating the,
you're missing a D.
sorry, is it case sensitive?
Yes,
Which way around?
it's lowercase,
Okay. And
but maybe
presumably, is this in the in the GitHub? You've made the updated the
no, the
notes.
documentation is not written yet. I just finished the code a few minutes ago, actually, just
What?
before we
Why
got
are you,
online.
are you taking it
It's
easy
it's
today?
still steaming right now.
It's
It's
still
like fresh
cooked.
out of the oven.
Still is. I love that. Okay. So so what we're doing here then is this is setting the amount
Okay,
of days in the
right
expiry.
now this will only set the what day the record would become obsolete. For example, it just sets
Yes.
the date for the expiry field,
So
and that's it.
if I
After
save
that, you
that,
do
if I just go back into here, what we're saying is this field here, this expiry date field, that it would set this to 90 days in the future. And
yes,
obviously, then you could do something with it as a developer. You could decide to have a make scenario running on there, or you could come in here and do a bulk delete.
create a task that runs every day and checks if the date is today. And if
Yeah,
it's today, send me an email. Say like these records are obsolete.
yeah,
Maybe do a cleanup. Let's say
yeah. Cool. So that's into settings back into here. So ARH, which I've forgotten what it means already.
add a record history
Add
R.
record, add record, history with an I. History. Okay, that's my terrible French. Context is the tag, edit client, and it on to expire, and then it'll grab every field, client name, address, blah blah blah. Cool.
Okay, now you have a file upload. I don't know how that's going to react because the code is there for signature, like almost
No,
everything. But
it's
this
yeah, it's PD, like PDF field.
it
Yeah.
should work okay.
So if they change the file, we would think it should capture the file name, but we're not sure yet.
Exactly. I didn't try that, but it was on the plan of to do, like
Okay.
to do plan.
Okay. So what next?
um, like the main table above it, like the parent table in clients. Okay,
Mhm.
for this you want to see the record history, so it's going to be VHR, view record history.
So just so I get, so we now are going to be adding a little icon to the right hand side here, aren't we? So we can click it
Yeah,
and see it. Okay, cool. So into the table, into settings, scroll down to description and underscore
underscore
view
v
record history
equals.
equals.
And you don't need any parameter, but if you add one, the first one will be the header that you want. If you don't specify anything, it's going to be history with capital H. Let's say you want smaller, shorter, like HIST. It's time to do it now.
All right.
It's
So if I put in here client history, would that be all right?
yeah.
That's the
Now,
label of what it'll be. Yeah.
by the way, you don't need groups in this case because it's only one parameter that's supported. So you can remove the square brackets if you
I was
want.
just showing off that I remember to put it in brackets.
It doesn't matter. If it's only one group, you don't need brackets. If it's
So
more than one, then
that's the only parameter at the moment.
no, it's only the name of the header of the column.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
That's
Right on the new column. So where we're doing is this new column over here
yeah.
will be
What's
called
the
client
header?
history. Oh, that's going
Specifying
to
the
be
label.
that's too
Okay,
long then.
so and
So
then the
I'll
second
get rid of it. Just call it history. If you don't have anything, it just calls it history anyway, doesn't it?
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay. I'll
Okay.
stay with that.
Now the second one is the icon. Okay, but you told me that you've used a lot the history icon already,
I have.
and I wanted to be nice to you and choose another one, but I realized that this is like a universal icon, so I must use it again. But I left you the possibility to change it. Okay.
Okay. Go on
So
then.
let's say you just want to change the icon without changing the title, the label of the column. Just type a comma. So you say the first one is nothing, leave it as is, and
Yep. So
remove
we're
your
not
blank
having a
space.
title. Yeah.
Remove
Oh,
your blank space just to be
so
sure this at
we're having the column header is just going to be defaulted to history, so we
default.
don't have any.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then FA dash uh, clock or clock dash O, for example, just for a test.
Blocko.
No dash O, clock dash O. Yeah, this one. Okay, so I can save this, and that should work.
And it's a small letter O rather than a zero.
Yes, O like open, I think.
We ready for a refresh?
Yeah. Oh, do you have the latest code? Yeah, 27.3. Okay, that's good.
I do.
Yep.
I'm completely up to date. Exciting. Didn't get a column. Oh, what happened?
Oh, VRH.
So it doesn't show anything in the
Okay,
preview, but
remove all parameters to see what happens.
uh,
Okay, what's happening?
I've just gone to 27.4. Is that wasn't
Oh,
going to?
well, that should still work. But that's yeah, the 2.4 is the latest one indeed.
So if anyone's still watching this, congratulations. Um, but for the UK viewers, you might remember a program, I think it's still on actually, called Blue Peter, which was a kids program. And obviously, I'm a child of the 70s. And Blue Peter were famous for doing kind of live experiments, which almost always went wrong. Um, so this is kind of our Blue Peter moment. But this is kind of live. This is how Norm troubleshoots it. I just wish I knew what he was doing.
I forgot something. I forgot to insist on something because I asked you, do you want to create the global view history? And you said, no, I want to continue with this first, but it depends on the global view history. That's why, because it's going to reuse that same history, but in a modal pop-up
Uh,
instead. That's why.
no
Okay,
idea.
so
No
everything's
idea
clear.
what you just said, but I'll
It's
pretend that I
because
understand. Let
we're
me.
going to create a view that's called a record history view. It can allow you to see and search and filter on all record histories.
Okay.
But that same view, okay, is also being used by that icon button we're adding at the right. So that's why it's not working, because it detects that the view does not exist. That's why.
Okay.
So let's go back in the builder and create that famous view that I was trying to convince you, but you refused.
Oh, I was just trying to make sense of it. So where do I need to be then? I'm
Okay, so
confused.
add a new login view
So a new login page for all users.
for all users,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And the name will be view record history.
And it has to be like this, does it? You can't have a different name.
No, it has to be like this.
It's got to be camel cased view
Yep.
record history. Okay.
And
Now
this
what?
one will be a grid. I know you like searches.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I know I have a lot of searches,
Maybe
but I will stay with the grid.
it could work, but I have to test it. I make it work like with the grid. It's always the base to me to start with.
And we're going to add the
uh,
record history table to that, or
yeah,
so add the record history table to this. Okay, I don't really know what I'm doing at the moment,
and
but
this time it's all record history, not the one connected to the user, just all of them. So that's good. Okay, perfect. Keep going.
don't want any of these options, edits, and
No, no.
do I need to change that from histories to history?
It must be chained with view record history, exactly like the one you had and you did not copy in your clipboard. It was time to paste
No,
it
I
there.
know. Sorry. Not
Yeah,
linking it to a menu, so just as it is.
yeah.
Add the grid. Do I need to add all my fields to this? Or
Yes, it's a good thing. What did I do on my side? I removed the auto increment because it's not useful, but I left the others. Yeah, you can either add everything and remove auto increment.
so this is just like a normal table. You can have what you want on here then.
You can remove some fields if you want,
Okay. So currently I
but
think I've got all them all on here except but just I'll say
except auto increment.
yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I'm trying not to break it, honestly.
You see the title is not okay.
Okay. View record
Okay, so
history.
now it should work. Go back in your application, refresh, and it should detect this. Oh, okay, we got it. So click on this. Should show nothing, but okay, that's good. So we see what I do is I check where you click, I grab the record ID, and I filter on it.
Okay,
So
so for this record here, John Smith, which is in my client table here, what record it's number 106. So have I gone past it? Oh, it's here, 106. So obviously there's a record ID associated to this. So if I went into that record, the record ID is exposed up here. So what you're doing is when you click on the record history, you're looking up that record ID, and then you're going to the record history table and looking for any records that have a matching record ID and displaying them.
yeah.
Okay, so if I made an edit on this one
Mhm.
and I said that the phone number changed to 128 to 127, and submit that. Now, should we try it?
Yeah.
Are you confident?
Yeah.
It's
Woohoo.
history number one, date time, it was an update. The identifier is John Smith, which is the name of my client. So now I can see why you'd say don't put all the fields on here because I can't really see that very easily. So
And
I
now you
rec
see that there's the phone number before and after, like the 8 changed for a 9 for a 7, and you can see that.
yes, it's not. I've obviously made this. I've got lots of things on here possibly that I don't need. Um,
Uh, be careful because if you remove it from the view, you cannot search on it globally. So I suggest that you trim them.
what about if
Uh,
I went into the pages and just forced that to be, you know, 150 pixels?
yeah, well, a place where you can gain a lot is by changing the builder URL.
This,
If you don't need that so much, you can just change the column for fixed text.
yeah. So
It,
go to build a URL and just say instead of a URL, say it's fixed text and say it's the builder URL. Okay, that will save us a bit of room, won't it?
and also you can say in the view, use a keyword that hide column if role is not administrator, for example, or developer.
Oh, that's a bit. Oh, we haven't got to that yet, so I'll circle back to that in other videos. But so now we've just got build a URL here. It didn't make my changes column. Perhaps I didn't make it very wide.
I use a percentage usually. I use like a
Okay,
25% or something like that.
so if I make that 20%,
Yeah,
let's see what that looks like. Do 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 do. History. Nice. So it's saying that the
there you go.
telephone. I actually called mine. My field was called rather silly. It was called tel telephone number. So
Hmm.
if I did a different one, if I did something like his name and changed him to John Smithy,
Or
um,
Johnny Smith.
yeah. So now I've got history number two, and the identifier is Johnny Smithy because that was his name, and that was the change. Before it was John Smith, and now it's Johnny Smithy, and it's the client name which is field one in the table. Which, if I go into my records and fields and put these labels on, the client name is not there because I'm in the wrong object. It's here, field one. So it's giving me the field ID of the field in the builder, which is really useful. The context was my tag edit client. I was the person that logged it. The object is the client object, which is obviously this object.
Hmm.
And that's the record ID, which is ended in 118C. So if I went into the record and looked at the looked in the URL, it is indeed 118C. So that is amazing. And what else we got? It's in view 8, just to explain that in the pages. Clients, it's this view. That's
No,
view
it's
4.
edit. Go back. It's edit.
It'd be the
This
edit
one, yeah.
page. Yeah. So this is view 8. Nice. And then it set it to 90 days into the future, I think we set it for. I know that obviously looks like March the 10th to you, doesn't it? And then that's the app URL, which is going to take me. What's that then? That's if I copy that link, that is, I'll just bring a notepad over. Um, the app URL. Oh, okay, so this is the page that happened on.
Where the record was submitted was created from.
So if I got rid of that and put that, oh, it's the page I'm on, isn't it? So if I
Yeah,
just paste it in, it is that page.
in this
Nice.
case, yeah.
So you can see where it was. And then the builder URL, if I was to copy that link and go into the builder, paste that in the builder, that's
Actually, if you click on it, you open a new tab, and if you copy, you can paste it in your existing builder to reuse the same page.
so
So
if
if
I
you just
click on that,
click on this, it's gonna
oh,
open a
it's
new
open
tab.
new tab.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
and jumps
Wow.
at the right place.
That's very nice.
And look at
And
this. Check history URL. This is cool.
I'm just going to, before I click on it, because I'm too excited. Why am I excited? Such a geek. Right. So this is coming to the
Uh,
builder of knack.com.
And by the way, you can just hover. Just hover your mouse over the history and look at the bottom left of your screen. You see, it's right there.
Oh yeah, down here on the blue. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's coming up here. So I'll hover.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and
There
that's
you go.
opened up the page of the
In the
record
builder.
history
In the
for
builder.
this in the builder. That's for everything that's ever happened on this record.
Yep.
Okay, which is a 72 edits since it was created. So to replicate that, then if I went I know this record is John Smithy is number 106. Oops. So if I went into I've got too many pages open here. Just keep one page open. Just going to refresh, make sure I'm just on one page. So if I went into records and then went into 106, and obviously if you're on a pro plan or above, you get the record history. So if I clicked on that, this is the same page showing me all the edits this record's ever had. So what we're showing with this amazing new feature from Norm is this is the local history that we've just done since we've introduced this is 2 edits, but then that will load into the back end, which has never been visible before, and you can see the back end from the front end, which is pretty amazing. I mean, I'm like, yeah, that's incredible. I don't even know how you've done that. So, but
Saves a few clicks.
so this isn't causing any issues like a user can't really do anything with this, can they? It's got renderer is where it happened. The action was the update. So for people that are familiar with the history, I won't go into this now but if you're familiar with the record history in the builder, this is the record history of the whole. Wow, that's amazing.
The only problem currently is that if they don't have this plan, they click on this, they'll probably have access denied or something
So if
similar.
you're on a starter plan, then this would not take you anywhere, but you still have your local history because just to explain, then it's putting the record history into here, so we can see we've got 2 records and these were the changes. But if I this is something I think is important because you showed me this before. If I went into Julie Foster and edited that record and said that she's now got married and her surname is Casson, and I'm going to go to 123, which is
William Street
where everyone lives in New York. And let's say Julie at fake.com.
must be a big house.
Yeah, everyone lives there because that's the kind of the go-to, isn't it? And let's just say our phone number's changed as well and submit that. So it obviously changes in the table, but let's have a look at the record history. So it shows me here. So client name before it was Julie Foster. It's now after it's Julie Casson. Before it didn't have an address, but now I've got New York. Before I had no email, and now I've got an email. So this bit here, label null. What's that? Where's that coming from?
Hmm.
Not seen that before.
No, it's the.
Is it because you didn't have an email before?
I think so. That's a good question. I haven't
So
seen that.
if I change her email now and say Julie underscore Casson and submit that, so that's one change. I'm going to get 2 histories in there now, and this is the most current one. It's still got that in there, label null. So
Okay, take a note.
yeah. But it's say this has only just come out of the oven, so the pie still hasn't even cooled down yet. So that's not bad. That's incredible, really. I mean, that's so powerful to be able to have the record history in the live app. Um, yeah, I'm kind of blown away by that. And if you didn't want certain things on here, is there anything if you removed any of these columns that would break this? If I removed the record ID, would it cause
No,
issues?
it would not break anything.
So if I went into pages and I know that with KTL I could go into here and just say underscore
Yeah.
HC equals record ID, but it still would be in the document object model, wouldn't it? So if someone was really keen to find it, they would still be able to find it, but it is actually hidden from here, which is
Mhm.
worth explaining that in Knack you can only hide columns that don't have values. We've just hidden a column that actually does have a value. But you're saying if I actually remove that column, that wouldn't cause an issue. So if I took the column out and just came back and removed that keyword because it wouldn't be needed now, that if I close that down, which I didn't know this until the other day, that you can just press escape if you're using
Yeah, but
KTL.
this is the KTL. Yeah,
Yeah, if you're using KTL, you don't have to keep going up to the
a
top
little
right
X.
hand corner. So you click on something here and then you think, okay, I've finished, and you have to come up here and click on X. You can just hit the escape key and it will close the modal for you. So yeah, right. So that still works without the record ID in the table. So I'm going to make one more edit on this then. So I'm going to edit. Let's see if I can choose a file. Let's do something
Oh,
like guide to clipping. So I'm going to add that in PDF. Let's see. I like to break these things.
this is the
So
first time.
first time. Terms of business. It's come up. Okay, so Oh, okay. The terms of business is right. That's the field. So if I come out of that,
So we see the PDF there. Okay.
just let me just edit that again. Yeah. So the actual field is called terms of business, and the PDF is guide to clipping. So
It just it contains a bit too much garbage. I could just keep the PDF name.
yeah.
If you copy that link and open it in a new page, it's probably gonna point to the PDF.
Oh yeah, because it says asset 668. So oh,
Yeah.
668, blah 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 blah. Guide to clipping PDF. So if I came back to here and just posted that in, it's probably the link straight to the PDF. It is,
Mhm.
yeah. Just it's a little bit of a long string, isn't it?
No, but you won't
Eee.
see it. It won't see it. It will just be like the file name.
So that's something obviously just needs to be done. But yeah, as you said, you haven't played around with the file field.
But
So
the problem is that this is a paragraph text, and I would need to change it to HTML instead, like a
okay.
rich text. But not sure I want to go that route.
So is that a fixable thing then? So you won't end up with this super long because now I've got
Yes,
a really
I did the
wide.
same thing several places already, but I just cover all field types yet. But yeah, it's easy to trim the garbage and keep this
So
the
over the
root.
next week or so, the file field ones will get fixed. So future updates will this will be a cleaner
Actually, I'm probably gonna do this today.
today. And
Yeah, I
what we
want to
now?
complete that.
The 5th of July. So yeah,
Yeah,
we heard it first. So by the 6th of July, this is all be working. I'm only joking. Norman, like it
no
was.
pressure.
No, not at all. I was chatting to Craig the other day, who lives down the road from me, and he was saying that Norm's hours is just crazy. He's like working all the time. So
I do a sprint now, but it's not gonna be like that all my life because my life is gonna be short.
no,
No, I
it's
enjoy
amazing.
this a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Well, it
Just
is just, I mean, if I say once again, if people have got this far, this is quite a long video, but this is the first time I've seen it. So you're seeing it hot, literally hot off the press, and it's just come out of the oven, as Norman said. So this will be fixed in the next day or two, and we'll circle back with this. But to be honest, it's amazing. I mean, just to be able to have this level of detail of what's changed, what it was before, what it was after, because it's something clients have been asking me for ages, which is we'd like to know not just when the last time the record was updated, but what was updated in the record. And, oh, I do have one question. This is you'll love this because this column doesn't actually exist in the builder in the clients table. There is no preview of it here. Typically, I'd like to set mine as like centered, and I notice this is you'll hate me. Yeah, it's left aligned.
yeah.
Uh,
Uh, I left it. I left the line because the default is this. But if you want it centered, yeah, not a big problem. You can just add a new parameter, align, comma, center. That's it.
And the where we put the icon, I think where did we do that? Was that
You want
in?
this? You want this now? I can do it live if you want.
So if you were looking at a normal table, you could click on the display rule, and you could say display an icon, and then here you can pick things up from here, can't you? So you could
Yeah.
say
So what you with the pop up you see there, our arrow dash left is what you want, but you need to add FA dash before that name.
so let's
So would
go for
be
something so we can celebrate. So let's go for FA dash beer.
yeah.
So if we went back to pages, don't save that, and clients table settings and FA dash BER. Must be nearly beer o'clock time. 6 o'clock here now, dinner time. Let's do a refresh. Awesome. Look at that. So that's how easy you can see. You've got access to then be able to have any of Knack's icons you can use. So just from their display of all the icons here, just hover over it and prefix it with FA dash, and then you can use any of these as you wish. So I've got a beer icon on my history. Well, if anyone's got to this point in the video, I mean, a big round of applause. But if you are an avid Knack user, this is breakthrough stuff. And if you've got any opinions, please let Norm know in the description of the video, because it'd be great to hear. Well, first of all, hear the feedback about what do you think of this first cut of record history and what would you like to see from what we've discussed. And I'm pretty much, I think I'm going to put this out largely unedited because hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this so far, don't forget in the description, subscribe to Norm's channel and subscribe to mine. That'd be great. Give us a thumbs up and also give us a comment about what you think. That's if anyone's still watching. I mean, should we wrap that up there for the video side of things? I'm happy to carry on chatting with you. And
Yeah, sure. I've got a few bugs to fix, but that's a good
it is
good
amazing,
tutorial.
Norm. I'm seriously impressed. Um, yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's going to answer that question from so many customers and clients about what changed, who did what when, some of the stuff that Norm's doing with the KTL. It's just amazing. So if you're not using it yet, there is a number of videos about setting up KTL and starting to get into it. And I'm going to be doing some more videos, my normal kind of stuff. And these, we only decided to do this today. So this is like, well, this is totally unscripted, obviously. So
Improvised.
yeah, and I hope you got some value from it. I hope you enjoyed it. Do use this, reach out to Norm, put some comments if you need to, or go onto GitHub. Um, Please, if you are putting stuff on the forum, obviously this is not a Knack feature. So if there are any questions or queries, probably best to keep them on GitHub or keep them in the video description. But we hope you get some value from this. And yeah, thanks for watching this far. So that's it from me and from you, Norm. You all right?
Thanks, Carl, for your time. Very appreciated.
Cheers. See you soon.
Cheers. Bye bye.